Dan Illman, Mike Beer kicking off a 50-cent pick four at Belmont Park on a super Saturday afternoon of racing with Grade 1 action. Here's the field for the Champagne. Nice prep for the Breeders' Cup Juvenile. We're going a one-turn mile for the two-year-olds. $500,000 is the purse. Now, Mike, you've got some very impressive maiden winners in here. The 2 My Prankster, the 3 Jack Christopher earned 92 Buyer speed figures in winning and running up the score in their respective debuts at Saratoga. But you also have the 1-2 finishers, the hopeful, and those horses had the experience edge, Gunite and Wit.
Yeah, true enough. I mean, generally speaking, I would, like to side with the experience in a race like this, but there's no denying that both My Prankster and Jack Christopher were very impressive and very fast first time out.
Wit was very impressive in his first 2 starts. In both of those races, he didn't break very well. It didn't matter. He was able to cruise on up and draw away from those fields, including a big runaway win in the Grade 3 Sanford. But you had the feeling in the back of your mind, what would happen if he didn't break in the hopeful, a full field of 11? And he didn't break again. And he ran well, finishing second to Gunite after rallying into a hot pace. If he doesn't break in here, he could be in trouble yet again.
Yeah, that's a concern with him right now anyway. He just hasn't gotten out of the gate great in any of his races. He, in his defense, I guess, as far as the hopeful goes down, he did stumble in that race. The first 2 starts, he just didn't get out of the gate very quickly. Last time he did stumble. He wound up back off the pace. He still made that kind of middle move to get himself into range. He just couldn't really make up any stretch ground. I actually feel like he ran okay in the hopeful last time because I do think speed was very strong on that closing day card. Up there at Saratoga. So I feel like he might have been up against it in there. His Sanford, as impressive as it was, and it was really impressive, and he got a figure for it, that feels like a pretty weak field. I wonder if he's facing tougher here.
His stablemate, My Prankster, let's watch his debut. Very impressive. He wins by 10 for Todd Pletcher, and he wasn't the favorite in this race. He was 7-2, despite having a really strong pedigree, being by Into Mischief out of My Wandy's Girl. A little bit late to change leads. It didn't matter. He dominated this field. He got a 92 Buyer. This race was at 6.5 furlongs. I like the way he comes home the final 16th. He's a very dangerous contender.
Yeah, there's plenty to like about this horse. You don't feel like stretching out to a mile is going to affect him at all based on his pedigree. He set a great trip in this race, but that's to his credit, Dan. Luis Saez rode him out of the gate to make sure that he got forward, and then he sat in behind horses for a while before he just dusted that field off the turn. Really impressive. Fast final time, 92 Buyer, as you say. He's very dangerous right back.
Now, I want to throw up the Timeform US pace projector real quick for the Grade 1 Champagne. Jack Christopher is stretching out for Chad Brown. And this horse, well, the word was out before his debut. He was bet to heavy favoritism. And he went right to the front, pressed the pace, and kept on going. Jack Christopher expected to make the lead in here, unless Gunite, Mike the 5, who showed good speed after kind of an awkward beginning in the hopeful, decides he's going to go. Where do you think Gunite's going to be early here?
Yeah, I thought Gunite was going to go in this race, Dan. We'll see how everybody decides to play it. I thought Gunite was going to go in this race, and I think Jack Christopher forward in here, based on his debut, where he had speed in that race, but he was just very comfortable to sit outside another horse on the lead before he just took that thing over and won really impressively too. So I think he's going to go Jack Christopher, but I think Gunite probably makes the lead, and Jack Christopher goes for the trip that he got when he broke his maiden, sort of sitting up close on the outside.
Now we'll show the folks how that trip worked out for Jack Christopher. Again, he was the rage on August 28th. He sat just off the lead, and once he makes the front, it is all over. Are you concerned about the stretch out from 6 to a mile? He's by Munnings. He's out of a half-hour's mare. There is a lot of speed in this pedigree.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to worry about stretching out in distance, probably with all these horses, especially when he's coming right off of a maiden win. The way that he won the race, I wouldn't worry about it necessarily. It's just one of those things where you have a 2-year-old, going right out from 6 furlongs to a mile. I mean, you have to be concerned that he's, not going to handle it quite as well. I'll tell you what, though, if this horse does handle it, I think he's going to be tough in here, Dan. He was legit good first time out.
Kavod, turf to dirt, blinkers on. This horse wore blinkers in his last fast track appearance, a maiden victory at Belmont going 5/8 to a mile. He ran okay in the Tremont in his third lifetime start against weaker horses, and in the Sanford, he was no match for Wit. He looks like a deserved long shot in here.
Yeah, he's just hard to make a case for. I like the fact that they've run him a lot and tried some different things with this horse, but he just looks like he's in over his head here.
Gunite ran well in the Saratoga Special, 2 starts back, battling it out for the lead, then finishing second to High Oak. He turned the tables on High Oak. He beat Witt in the Hopeful. Let's watch that effort. I agree with Mike that I think Speed did very, very well at Saratoga on this day. Gunite did not break well. Ricardo Santana didn't care. He hustled Gunite up down towards the inside. They snagged the lead, and they hold off Witt. This was a really breakthrough performance for Gunite.
Yeah, I agree. He's the kind of horse who's really improved with every start so far, too, Dan. He just keeps coming forward. In this race, I like the fact that he was able to get himself to the lead after he just didn't get out of the gate for whatever reason that sharply and was back off the pace early, but he just rushed right up and took that thing over. He actually ran really well last time, but I do think the track helped him. And I don't know if that's going to be the case here in the hopefully he stretches out to a mile. Will I be surprised when he just makes the front and wins again? I won't, but I don't know if I want to bet this horse.
Todd Pletcher has half the field. It's like the good old days. He has the 6 command
Yeah.
performance, and this is a really interesting maiden making his second lifetime start. Let's watch his career debut. He broke from the rail. It wasn't a great start. He took a lot of dirt in his face. You're going to see the gray in behind horses. He's finally going to get out with some running room, and he's just no match for the favorite, Don't Wait Up, who was the only experienced horse in this race. I think all in all, this horse ran sneaky well, Mike, and I think he is a bit of a sleeper in here.
Yeah, I agree. This is also on closing day at Saratoga too, Dan. I didn't feel like he necessarily wanted to be coming from off the pace, and that's where this horse was for sure. I thought he ran well. He's the the classic horse that makes his debut with a little bit of a trip, and you just want to bet him back the next time. I don't know if you want to bet him back in a Grade 1 race as a maiden, but he certainly ran a lot better than it looks on paper.
Really intriguing race. Can Witt get out of the gate? Can Jack Christopher stretch out in distance? Can Practical Joke, not Practical Joke, can my Prankster do very, very well first time against winners? Let's take a look at our picks for the Grade 1 Champagne Stakes. I'm thinking Practical Joke because didn't Chad win the Champagne with Practical Joke? And we're going with Jack Christopher.
Yes, he did win this. He did win this race with Practical Joke. I don't know, Dan. I took Jack Christopher too. I struggled with this race, actually. I wanted to put Witt on top. I changed my mind at the end there, and I just went with Jack Christopher. I think he's going to get a good trip in here. I did like his debut. I'm going to use Witt as well. I decided to, of the 3 Pletchers in here, I decided to use Witt and give him a chance to rebound. I think there is a real chance he rebounds here.
3-1-2-6 for Mike. I agree with everything Mike says. Impressed with Jack Christopher's debut. I'll go with him. 3-2-5-6 in the Champagne, kicking off a 50-cent pick 4 at Belmont on Woodward Saturday. Good luck.